Okay, so with all the past videos about things about the orbit, the rotation, sidereal, and solar timing, now we're ready to study Mercury and see some of the interesting things that it has going for it. So what we'll do then is let's go ahead and draw Mercury in its orbit. So I'll draw the sun here, and I guess I'll choose orange for Mercury. And so here's Mercury right here, for example, in one position in its orbit, and I'll start us out by having the little green person standing there like that, looking right up at the sun. And this isn't part of Mercury or anything scientific, but I need to draw a little line here for myself just so my artwork will come out as needed when I'm done. Okay, so we'll just leave that at the moment. So what we'll do then is there's no surprises here, nothing strange going on. Here's Mercury, and it's just going to orbit around the sun. Just like the Earth does, Mercury does the same thing. And we're trying to expose and see what some of its timing things are going on. So let's just draw the planet now in a few positions around the sun. So there's position A. We'll start right there. And of course, as it keeps going, Mercury will eventually make it over to position B like that. And in this case, I'll draw the little green person like this. And what I'm doing here by drawing the little green persons pointing over this way is I've just sort of indicated that Mercury is indeed rotating, right? So it's rotating in this direction. And by the time the little person has made it over here, Mercury's traveled this far in its orbit. So it looks like I have a little bit of rotation going on sort of in, a direction sort of like this direction. So as Mercury sort of spins, here's a little green person now. So let's just continue this as we go around there. Over here, I'll say that's going to be C, and I'll draw the little green person here. And then as we keep going around, there's position D. Over here, there's a little green person now. And this is where I need my reference line, because when we get back to E over here, get to position E over here, which is right here, I have this reference line because I want the little green person pointing up like this. And this is the way Mercury works, so that reference line just helped me do that. And then when I get over here to F, let's just say that the little green person is over here. And we'll do one more. G is when it basically gets back to the same position as A, although I can't draw them overlapping like this. And there's a little green person now. So down here, just keep in mind that G and A are actually right on top of each other, but I don't want to make it too messy looking, so we'll just draw it like that. Okay, so there we go. So let's start looking at some of the things about Mercury now in terms of its timing. Okay, so the first thing that we'll say over here about Mercury's timing, number one, is when you go from position A to position E. So we start down here, sort of like our reset, or our time is equal to 0, looking straight up at the sun. And as Mercury sort of starts to orbit and rotate, gets all the way over here, and when it gets to E, you'll notice that the little green person is in the same orientation that the word A. Okay, so what has happened there? So think carefully. Some of the previous lectures and things, what has happened there? Well, if there was a little star up here, like that one, let's not get too confused with another star, but say there's a star up there. Now you look carefully, you're on Mercury, and you can see the star. Okay, so again, forget the sun is in the way. Pretend we have the technology to see through the sun just to the star. So you look up, you see the star, and when do you see the star again? Well, not here, because you're looking up that way. Not here, because you're looking way down over here. Not this way, you're looking down over that way. Over here, if you look up, you see the star again. So A to E then, on Mercury, is one sidereal day. Remember, that's the star to star timing. And it turns out on Mercury, that timing is 59 days. 59 days. So we'll compare it with the Earth in a minute, but just keep that in mind, 59 days. And also what you've realized here, this is the D. Not what you've realized here, in addition to the 59 days, this is one full rotation too, right? Because the little green person is in the same position like that. So all the way around, that is one rotation. So again, we'll do some comparisons, but it looks like Mercury rotates on its axis once every 59 days. Okay. The second thing to look at then, number 2 over here, is what happens when you go from A to G. A to G. Go back to our diagram over here, and maybe I'll even draw the sort of the circle of its orbit in there, just so we're not confused about what's going on. And it, should be a circle, and don't take any of this artwork too seriously. anything like that, but it's just a general description. Okay, so we're looking at A to G. What happens at A? Well, A is where we started, of course, and G is where we end up when we go all the way around one time. So it looks like G is one sun orbit. That's the way you would describe that. One sun orbit. And on Mercury, that takes 88 days. Again. Around the sun once, 88 days. Okay, we'll continue in the next video.